Hi Stampers, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to do the nail polish background technique. I did this class in one of my techniques class and the girls loved it. Very easy to do. You will need a foil plate of some sort or an old bowl, and here are the remainder of the supplies you'll need. For stamp sets, we are using badges and banners and thoughtful banners. And if you'll notice, the banners are the same size and they both coordinate with the banner punch. And I'm going to mix these around because I wanted a birthday card and these sentiments really don't go with birthdays. So we're going to use one of the blank banners and we'll create our own birthday banner. For ink colors, we're using Wisteria Wonder, Cherry Cobbler, and Calypso Coral. You're also going to need old bottles of nail polish if you have them on hand, or you can use new ones, but I found some that I hadn't used for a long time, and my colors that I'm using for ink today actually are going to coordinate with my nail polish. Any nail polish will do. So this one goes with the Wisteria Wonder, this one with the Cherry Cobbler, and this one with the Calypso Coral. You also are going to need the best badge punch. And for cardstock, you'll need the following sizes. I did forget to mention that we're also going to be using the 1.5 circle punch. So for cardstock, we're going to need vellum measuring 5.5 by 1.5, watercolor paper 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, Whisper White 5 1/4 by 4, and you're also going to need a scrap piece for the stamping. And for the card base, we're using Wisteria Wonder 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 in the center and folded. So let's get started and have some fun with this nail polish today. So I have my foil plate with water. I put about 1/2 inch of water. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of paper towel. And now I'm going to get ready. I took the brush part of the nail polish off because you kind of have to work fast. As you pour the nail polish into the water, it's going to float and then it's going to want to sink. So you have to work fast. So I have my piece of watercolor paper all ready to go. And then I'm just going to take my nail polish. I'm just going to splatter all 3 colors. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of just swirl them. And then push this in. And voila! Look how pretty and quick that was. I have a little bit missing right here, so I'm just going to dip that corner in. And now I'm going to lay this on my paper towel to dry while I go rinse off my hands. Now I'm using a baby wipe right now, and it does stain your hands, so I probably should have used a pair of rubber gloves to do this. So I suggest that if you don't want to get it on you. But I'll use some nail polish remover to get this off of me. So now this is where we end up for a background. Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to set this aside to dry. As you can see, some of it is a lot wetter than others, especially where it's clumped up, but it is going to dry quite quickly. So I'm going to set everything aside and we'll get our stamping done. So I'm going to bring in the card base and fold it in half on the score line. And my next layer is going to be my Whisper White, and I'm just going to glue that in place in the front. And I'm using white because you'll see how the nail polish looks against the white as a layer. It really makes it pop. So now let's do some stamping. I wanted to show you where we were at with the watercolor too. It's drying very nicely and you can see there's a lot of shimmer and shine there. It's going to take some time to dry because we did wet the whole thing, so it's wet on both sides. I did use the heat tool on it a little bit to make things progress along. But if you don't have a heat tool, just let it dry. It's probably going to take a half hour to an hour to dry. For my first stamp image, I'm going to bring in the cherry cobbler ink to stamp my first banner. And that's the one that says enjoy your day. The next one we're going to do with Wisteria Wonder. That's going to be the second banner. And now I'm going to bring the punch in to cut those out. I like that it leaves a little bit of a white frame around it also, and that's going to pop it up against the brightly colored nail polish. So we've got both of these cut out. And now I've got one more I'm going to do with the Calypso coral, and that's the circle. And that's what we're going to cut with the 1.5 inch circle punch. And the last item we need to stamp is the banner. So I've gone ahead and done that. And then I've got the happy birthday is in 2 words. So I'm going to try to fit that in here my best that I can. I think I went a little bit too far on this. No, I don't like that. Let me try it again. See, I make mistakes too. I'm going to try to put it more towards the center this time. It's hard to gauge myself on having 2 different words. There, that's better. Now I'm going to bring in the banner punch. Punch that out. Now we have all of our pieces and we can continue to assemble the card. So let me bring in all of my card pieces. And this is now dry, and it's really funny because it feels like a piece of vinyl. It's very thick. What I'm going to do is glue that in place with Stamping Dimensionals. And I'm going to add quite a few only because this is watercolor paper. And as you can see, we did get some of the nail polish on the back there. So I want to make sure this is going to glue down and not warp on me. And I'm going to pause the video so you don't have to watch me take all of these Stamping Dimensional backings off. Okay, now I have all the backings off. So I'm going to lay this right in the center of my card and press it in place. And notice how the white around the color really makes it pop. That's what I meant by adding white to the background layer. Now we're going to bring in the vellum, and I'm going to use my paper snips to make a flag on the end. And the quickest way to do that is to make a snip in the middle and then go from corner to the snip on each side. Now I'm going to add some snail. Most of the vellum is going to be covered on one side, so I don't have to be careful about it showing through. And I'm going to go about there. And now I'm going to glue my banner pieces in place. And for the number 1, I'm going to use Stamping Dimensionals. I miss my fingernails. I have a hard time peeling the dimensional backings off. And lastly, we're going to add the happy birthday right down here. And because one of these is already popped, I'm just going to use a skinny strip right here and glue it to just one side of my banner. I'm just going to make this a little bit higher because some of it's covered. There we go. Okay, and that's my card for today using the nail polish technique. I hope you enjoyed the background that we created today, and I hope you'll give it a try. I'm sure you have some nail polish laying around that needs to be used up. If you have any questions, make sure you message me on YouTube or send me an email or blog. Thanks for stopping by today.